Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Zoe and I make motherhood and lifestyle videos. And today's video I'm going to be talking to you guys about all the things I will be buying for baby number 2. So if you didn't know, I'm currently pregnant with my second baby. You can see. I'm in my third trimester now, 29 weeks. So I've been setting up the nursery, going through all the baby products, all the things that I need, going through my personal list of things that I wanted to get for baby number 2 that we might not have already had. And I was actually really excited to create this video. I have done a baby must-have video for newborn, and then I think I did a 3 to 6 month old, maybe an older age bracket. So make sure you check that out if you want to see the things that I did buy. And that was for baby number 1. So this video is the things that I won't be buying, and these are, popular baby products, newborn products. And I just wanted to share this today because I feel like there's just so much on the market for parents and for babies, and you really don't need a lot when you're having a baby. There are a few basic things that you need, obviously, like nappies and clothes, a car seat if you're going to be driving, things like that. But all the other stuff you don't need. They're really just designed to help a parent's life, help you to, be more efficient and get more things done and whatnot. So it's more of a want, I would say, rather than a need. There's so many things I have that I don't need for the baby, but I want to use them because it's going to make my life easier. And anything that's going to make your life easier, especially in the newborn phase, when you're tired and you're constantly looking after a baby who's going through 10 dirty nappies a day and feeding around the clock, that's great. Get the things that you need that's going to help your life. But today I just want to share my opinion over products that I might have used before, or, since experiencing motherhood and having a baby, I know that I don't particularly need some of these things that are quite popular. Now, the first product that I won't be buying for baby number 2 is any sort of baby food making gadget. So they're like these baby food blenders where it's literally just like a really small blender. I don't know, if you already have a blender, I don't get why you need a baby blender. Yes, it kind of makes sense that it's smaller because you're making a small portion, but you can just make a really big batch and then put it into small portions. I know we already have a blender, so I don't see the point of getting another one. And we have this like big blender that we really don't even use that much. It always just sort of sits there. I get it out every now and again if I feel I need something really big, but a lot of the time I just use our bullet for pureeing foods and things, and that's great for making baby food if you're going to be making like any sort of puree. So I love that. If you have a bullet, then you don't need a baby food blender maker. Or if you want to go and get something like that to make food with and you don't already have something, I would look into getting something that you're actually going to use forever, because you're only going to be making baby food for a very short amount of time. They're only on purees. If you're doing purees and then slowly going up to more chunkier food, they're only on purees for like a month or 2 before you start making it a bit more chunky. And yeah, so really you're really not going to use it for very long. It just seems like such a waste, to be honest. You can go out and just buy a bullet or buy a normal blender that at least the whole family can use forever, or until it breaks one day. Yeah, and another thing that you could use is a stick mixer, I think they're called. We have one of those too. That's really handy if I'm making soup. I cook my pot of veggies, and then I'll get my stick mixer and just blend it all in the pot. Those are really cheap. They're like under $50. Yeah, you could just go and get that if your budget's not super huge. A lot of things also you can just mash with a fork or a potato masher if they're soft and cooked enough. So you don't even really need a blender. And a lot of parents are now doing baby-led weaning, so if you can just skip the purees altogether. I know some of the baby food blenders do come with like steam compartments as well, where you can like steam the veggies or whatever you're cooking, but you can also just steam them how you usually steam vegetables. You don't need a specific baby food blender or maker or a steamer. The next product I'm going to be buying for baby number 2 is a baby swing. So we already have a bouncer rocker chair that is, you know, somewhere that we can put the baby that is safe. It's what we use for our first, and it comes with like a little toy bar, so you can put toys there for them to like stare at or play with when they're doing that. And you know, it like rocks back and forward and all that. It's somewhere that they can sit up a bit if you want them sitting up a little bit. And it's just somewhere safe, I guess, to put them if you just, yeah. So that's really handy, and I feel like I don't need another one. I was looking into a swing because I thought, oh, you know, I have a toddler and babies sleep all the time. What if I'm doing stuff with the toddler and the baby's, you know, upset, and I just, you know, I don't have time to like really put them down in their cot. It might just be a small nap, so I can just put them in the swing maybe for a little nap, and they can just be in the room with us. And I looked more into it, and a lot of the swings only last for a good 6 months, and then the baby grows out of it. And then you have to look at whether you have a big baby or not. They might grow out of it sooner. So there was that, and it's like another big bit of equipment that we're gonna have. They are expensive too. So like the cheaper ones don't look that great, and the really good ones are very expensive. And they also aren't safe for sleeping in. They're like designed to relax your child, and sort of you think that they would probably fall asleep in them, but once they're asleep, you're meant to move them anyway. Like it's not safe, or you're meant to be really watching them so that they don't suffocate or anything. And there's been, you can look at the stories, but there's been lots of stories of babies who have passed away in you know, swings because they suffocated, just because the way the swing has been designed, they can't lay flat, and then they can't breathe because their airway's blocked. So yeah, I just thought, you know what, I can probably just put the baby in a carrier or something and hold them. I think it'll be fine. I don't think we need a swing. The next thing I'm going to be buying for baby number 2 are all the little baby clothes and cute outfits that you can get for babies in the newborn and sort of next size, sort of like the 4, 3, 2 zeros. In those sizes, I really only just use singlets, and then like the baby pajamas, like the all-in-one long zipper ones. They usually come with the inbuilt mittens, inbuilt socks, so you don't need to get separate mittens and socks. Yeah, I did have a few outfits and a few things that we were given, which you also usually get. You know, lots of people want to buy you cute clothes, so let other people do that for you. You don't need to spend lots of money on baby clothes. They're only in those sizes for such a short amount of time. The 4-0 size are in for like a month, and then the next size they're in for 3 months or so. Yeah, so if you're going to get cute outfits, wait till they're over 6 months, I would say. You know, you might want to get 1 or 2 for pictures, or if you're going somewhere special, an event or a wedding, sure, definitely get something like that. But you don't need enough that you're putting them in a nice outfit every day. They don't wake up in the morning and you get them out of their pajamas and put them in their day outfit. You sort of keep them in an outfit till they vomit on it or wee on it or whatever, and then you put them in another outfit. That's pretty much what you do with a baby, because you're already changing their outfit, you know, a couple of times a day anyway, because they usually mess it up. So yeah, just invest in the basics. Maybe get 1 or 2 cute things and let everyone else get you those other baby items. The next thing I won't be buying for baby number 2 are a lot of baby creams, lotions, ointments, products, soaps, shampoos. Babies only need to be bathed like once a week. The first few weeks you're not really meant to wash them because you want all that good vernix, it's called, that white coating that they get on their skin after they come out during labour, and it sort of protects them. And then after that, yeah, you only need to wash them like once a week or so. They stay pretty clean. Like they don't really, they might get a little bit sweaty maybe, but usually little babies smell divine if you smell them. They don't need fragrances. Every time you change their nappy, you're fully wiping them with like a wet wipe, so they stay pretty clean. If they have like a poo explosion, then yeah, definitely put them in a bath and let all that soak. But a lot of the time they just need a bit of warm water. And even if you are using a like soap, every now and again, or a bit of shampoo. They need the smallest bit, like they are so tiny. And then afterwards, when you're putting cream or oil on them to sort of moisturize their skin, again, you only need like a pea size amount. Like they're so small. Like it's not like moisturizing our body, but we need a good handful. You know, you need the smallest bit. Plus, baby skin is just so perfect. They moisturize themselves really well as well. So, and if you're only bathing them once a week, you don't really need a lot of moisturizer. So, yeah, I remember when I was pregnant with baby number one, just thinking like, I need all these things. And then when he came, I was like, I don't need a lot of this stuff at all. So actually, we used coconut oil when my son was born. Anytime we had to, you know, moisturize him, we would just use that, and that was good. We could just use like the smallest amount, and it was great. The next thing that I won't be buying are tons of baby swaddles. You really don't swaddle for very long at all. You're meant to only swaddle until the baby starts rolling. Nate was 10 weeks old when he started rolling, which is quite young, and I wasn't even sure what I was meant to do. This is something I was talking to a nurse about, and she was like, what? You shouldn't be swaddling. Are you still swaddling? And I thought, I don't know, first time mom, I thought you just meant to do it until they are no longer a newborn. So I stopped after that point. And then I was looking at all those swaddles like, oh, we only use them like a handful of times, because we didn't even swaddle him every time he went to sleep anyway. To be honest, I don't know. I don't know if swaddling is particularly necessary. I don't know if it's something I want to do with baby number two. I'm not sure yet. I've been doing a bit of research on it and whether it is good for a child or not. I've seen lots of mixed reviews and there's a lot of opinions out there. And there's a lot saying, you know, swaddling is actually bad for a baby, and yeah. Anyway, I'm not sure. So I want to show you guys something that I did get for baby number two, which I thought was very cool, because we only have sort of swaddling products for the baby to sleep in, along with their pajamas. And I was trying to look for something else. One thing that I really liked when Nate was a baby were those sleeping bags and sleep suits. They were really handy because you don't have to worry about the blankets, and that can obviously be a suffocation risk. This is a newborn, like baby sort of size sleeping bag. This is a size 3-0. I didn't want to get 4-0 because they're not going to be in it for long. And it is the Ergo Pouch brand. So it's really good quality. It's nice and thick. I did have a look at the TOG rating. I made sure I got one for the season that's going to be in. And this one actually comes, it's a swaddle and sleep bag, which is really cool. So it comes with these little clips on the side where the arms would go, and you can literally open it up and just use it as a sleep bag. You don't have to put the clips down and swaddle them, so you can have it open, or this side, it's all closed up. So you can choose whatever you want, and it's got the double zipper, which is very, very handy for overnight nappy changes. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, if I'm going to swaddle or not, or maybe sometimes, but I like that this one has the option, and this is the one good one that we bought. I didn't have to buy a ton. I'll probably mainly put the baby in this at sleep time. Yeah, and I feel like this will do us until the baby goes to the next size. I don't need tons of swaddles. This will be fun. Another thing I won't be buying for baby number two are the burp cloths that are advertised as burp cloths. So actual burp cloths that are made to be burp cloths. They suck. If you're a parent and you've bought them, you'll realize they are really tiny. They're not very absorbent. I don't even know why they're burp cloths, to be honest. They do not do their job. We never liked them. I think we might have thrown a few out. If I have any in the cupboard, I'm not going to be using them. The things that we did use are these terry toweling cloths. They're the ones from like the original terry toweling cloth nappies that, you know, your grandma probably used to put your parents in with like one of those safety pins. So these are excellent. You get different colors. This is light blue. We're having another boy, if you can tell from all the blue. But yeah, you can get these ones or just plain white, whatever you want. And they are very absorbent. They're huge. So you can have it like directly on you if your baby's going to be on your chest. Or I used to just fold it in half, put it here, and I have a huge big space for the baby to just vomit all over me. Our first was a huge vomiter. He would have a big breastfeed and then vomit everywhere a lot of the time. I think he just had bigger eyes than his stomach, so he would take in a lot. But yeah, these were very handy, and they're also really good just to lay on the floor. We would put them over the baby mat because he'd often throw up on this, and then it would save the baby mat. And you know, it's nice and thick and absorbent. It would never go through. These are excellent. Save your money. Don't buy the burp cloths. Just get a big pack of terry toweling. You can get it at any shop. The next thing we won't be buying are one of those baby nests. I don't know if you've heard of them. I think Nest is one of the brands, and DockATot is a very popular one as well. So if you don't know what they are, they're like these baby lounger pillow things. Kind of like a mattress pillow thing. It's probably the size of a pillow, and it's molded in a way that sort of hugs the baby, which does look comfortable and everything, but I just don't see the point. They're very expensive. Like they can be a couple $100 depending on the brand that you're gonna get, and I don't know, I didn't see the point. I'm like, if the baby's gonna sleep, I'm gonna just put them in their cot or their bassinet. I don't need another item. If you don't have those things for sleeping during the day, like nap time, maybe it would be helpful to you, but you can also just put them on your bed. I don't know. And the whole idea of having the baby with you when they're sleeping for every single nap is a lot. You might do that in the beginning, like the very, very beginning, but eventually they start to wake up, and you know, sounds and light, it does wake them up. You know, it's the whole idea of your baby sleeping in, you know, under bright lights with lots of noise and stuff is actually not very good for your baby. You can do research on this if you're not sure, but I know a lot of people talk about that, and it's this old myth that they need to be able to sleep anywhere and all this. We don't, if I'm having a nap, I certainly don't want to be out, you know, with the sunshine on my face and people talking around me. I want to be in a dark room. I want to have a nice deep sleep, and so does a baby. You know, it actually affects them, affects their sleep. They don't actually get as much of a deep sleep if they're not in a dark room, so it's better for their development anyway. Anyway, that's my opinion. Yeah, so I just don't see the point of having to get a whole nother sleep device or just somewhere to put your baby, unless you buy them to just put their baby down in other rooms. And I don't think it's, if you have older kids, I don't particularly think it's either safe as well, because it doesn't keep them up high or anything. They're on this lounger, but it's just flat, like you just put it on the floor, so your older children could trip over the baby. I think if I had it, I'd probably use it if I had it, I'm sure, because it's there, but I probably wouldn't use it for very long, and I don't think I'd really use it for sleep. It'd be more awake time, which I'd want to be doing fun stuff with the baby. I'd want them to be on their play mat or in their bouncer for a little bit and doing different things. I wouldn't want them just lying down all the time because that's what they do in their sleep. So one thing that I'll show you guys that we do have that's sort of like an alternative, very big, the Moses basket. Might have heard of it. This is the largest one that we could get. We got the large. I would recommend getting the large if you're going to be buying one of these, because they grow out of them really fast. So the larger the size, the better. Means that they can be in it for longer. So this one, you know, has a little mattress in it and a cover. It's got the handles, which can be good because you can sort of rock the baby. We use that if we were going over someone else's house for dinner or anything like that, and we knew we had somewhere that we could put the baby that's safe for them to sleep in. It was really easy just to put it in the boot of our car and take it somewhere. So that was good. But again, we didn't really use it for very long. It's not particularly something you need. You don't need to go out and get a Moses basket. We could easily give this away and not, you know, not be sad about it. Like, I'm going to use it because I have it, but I don't need it. The next thing I won't be buying for baby number 2, and definitely didn't have for baby number 1, is a wipe warmer. You might not have heard of it. And yes, I know it sounds ridiculous, a wipe warmer, but it's this like little box, I guess you can get. You put your wipes in it, your wet wipes for changing nappies, you plug it in, and it keeps your wipes warm for your baby. I know. I know some people have bought it and, you know, just to sort of help comfort their baby when, you know, especially like middle of the night, instead of having a cold wipe on their skin. I guess it might not be as, I don't know, it'll just be a bit more soothing to the baby. But again, you know, I don't know, it depends probably where you live. I guess if you live somewhere really cold and, you know, the room temperature is very cold, but I don't know, a room temperature wipe to me just doesn't, it's fine. You know, your baby doesn't particularly need a warm wipe. They get used to it too. And I always think, you know, the people who do buy the wipe warmer, what do they do when they go out and about? You can't take it with you. It plugs into the wall, so you have to have your room temperature wipes with you. So wouldn't that be a shock if the baby's always used to having, you know, the warm wipes on their skin, and then they have the room temperature ones? That would be quite a shock, I would think. And maybe then those nappies would be a bit harder to change and a bit more stressful. I don't know. And I've also heard reviews that either the wipe warmer dries out the wipes, so they're no longer even wet. And I've heard other people say that it makes them moldy, because I guess it's probably just like the worst spot for bacteria to grow, because it's at that perfect temperature that bacteria love, and it's like wet and moist, and you're constantly putting your hand in there and touching it. So yeah, it doesn't really sound like the cleanest product to me either. And then what if you run out of wipes and you're like middle of the night and you got to quickly restock the wipe warmer instead of just pulling out, you know, a wipe from your normal like your normal wipes, like your normal room temperature wipes. I don't know. I just don't see the point. I'm not going to be buying one. If it works for you though, that's great. Please put it in the comments below if you do have a wipe warmer. I actually don't know anyone who has one, but I have watched a lot of YouTube reviews on wipe warmers. Okay, the last product, we're finally at the end. Since we were just talking about wipe warmers, I'm going to go through some of the nappy changing stuff that we have and things that I won't be buying. So with wipes, I spoke about wipe warmers, but I also won't be buying lots of different wipes, different brand wipes with all the fragrances and stuff. There's literally one brand that I like to get, and it's the water wipe. It is 99.99% water. It's like a drop of fruit extract. That's it. It's great. These are very, very wet too, which I love. Yeah, so you never have to worry about like your wipes getting dry. I've never had this issue with this brand. And I always like to do the face test when I use wipes. So if I can wipe it on my skin, on my face, and it feels fine, then I know it's going to be safe for my baby. I have used wipes from, you know, friends when I've been out and about. I might have run out, or I just didn't pack them for whatever reason. And I've used it to like wipe my face, and it's been a different brand, and I literally feel tingling on my skin, and it doesn't feel very, or it's like stinging. And I know that, yeah, but these, I never feel that. It just feels like normal, like it's just because it's water. So that's why I love and trust this brand. I'll always buy this brand. Another thing I'll be doing differently for baby number 2 is I actually bought reusable wipes. These are super, super soft. I bought a whole bunch with some reusable nappies, so cloth nappies. I did do cloth nappies with Nate, but only part-time, so I decided to buy some more. And then the website I was buying from had these reusable wipes, which I thought were really cool. So I'll only be doing it probably at home, and it'll probably save us a lot on wipes because you can go through a lot. It can be expensive, but I figure I'll probably just use this with a bit of warm water or room temperature water, who knows, and then wipe the baby with this. So, or I just have a container, like a bowl of water that I can bring into, you know, put on the change table to use each time. Of course, I used clean water, but yeah, I think that is a really good option. I can keep washing it, so it's going to save us lots of money. And then another thing are nappies. I really hate the smell of conventional normal nappies. They smell really gross. So when Nate was born, I didn't even know what I wanted to do. I had bought some cloth nappies and then some normal nappies, and I just bought the Huggies brand, which were fine. And then I started buying some organic brand, and the smell, I could notice then the smell difference. So I would smell like a Huggies nappy, and it would literally smell like petrol, like petroleum. It had that chemical fuel smell. It was really gross. And then I would smell an organic nappy and it didn't smell like that. So I knew that the conventional one had chemicals in it. You can just tell. Yeah, whereas the organic one smelled just, it didn't really have a smell. So yeah, I try not to get too many of the conventional ones when Nate was little after that, because I realized, you know, it's constantly sitting on his skin, and you know that's going to be disrupting his hormones and everything, and he's only a little baby, like he's developing with everything that's around him. So yeah, it can't be particularly good. So I'll show you guys this brand. I got the Tushies brand. They're eco nappies. They're organic bamboo, and they actually have a really cute design. They're like little watermelons, you can see. Anyway, I bought one pack of like the newborn size and then another pack of the next size up. These are just a small pack. I didn't buy a huge box because I'll mainly be doing cloth nappies. I did buy more to try to do it more full time this time, but I know that these are really handy, especially for out and about. I think it's always good to have, even if you're doing cloth nappies, it's always good to have some disposable ones just in case. So they're the ones I'm going to be using. I actually waited months for these to go on special where I live locally, and then one day they were, so I quickly bought them. So yeah, it's something I'll just keep an eye on, and I'll probably just try to buy when they're on special, because I'll mainly be using cloth nappies, so I don't need to buy them every week or anything. And they ended up being the same price as the conventional nappies when they were like with their special price, so that was really good. And then I will mainly be using these cloth nappies. So, and then they come with these inserts and a booster. So with the cloth nappy, another thing I'm going to be buying when it comes to cloth nappies is the newborn cloth nappy sizes. You can get these all-in-ones. They have all these different clips, so you can do all the different sizes. You can make it, you know, really tight for a new baby and then slowly come out as they get bigger. And then this also comes up as well, so you can make them really, really tiny if you need. They're pretty good. They're pretty good to cover the sizes that they do. They usually go up from newborn to 2, which I think is amazing. My son was in them until he was 18 months and they were getting really tight then, so I stopped. He was really only just using them for a swim nappy at that point though, because I'd put him in undies anyway at 18 months. But yeah, for a clothing item to cover newborn to a 2-year-old is actually really amazing. I think that's great. You can go and get different size cloth nappies, but I think it's a waste of money, to be honest, and especially the newborn ones. Some people don't even use cloth nappies on their newborn because they're just too small, or they might leak because it's just not as tight fitting. They might wait till their baby's like 4 to 6 weeks before they start putting them in the cloth nappies. But it's such a short period, and you're postpartum, some of it's in the hospital, so it's just easier, I feel, in that time. If your baby's not particularly fitting them, just use disposables. Unless you have a friend maybe who has the newborn ones and you can borrow them or buy them, you know, at a discounted rate and then sell them again. It's up to you, but I just didn't bother. Yeah. So another thing you can do to, well, another tip, I guess, for the cloth nappies is getting these, get the all-in-ones and get the, they're called pocket nappies, or the nappies with the inserts. So I tried a few different brands, and I had a friend who gave me a few different types as well to try out, which was really, really handy. But I found that the ones that were like all together, where like the absorbent pad thing was inbuilt in the nappy, I didn't like them. They were hard to clean because you couldn't pull it out. Like these ones, they clip in. You tuck them in and there's like a clip and you clip them in, and then when you're done you clip it out and you wash it all separately, so it's nice and thin. It's easier to dry, whereas the other ones are really thick and they just take forever to dry, and then I feel like by the time they're dry they smell a bit like wet dog because they just didn't dry very well. I feel like, I don't know, maybe they hold more bacteria. I just didn't like them at all. And then you can't make them as absorbent as you want, so they just have to be whatever the absorbency is that it comes with. Whereas with these, you can literally use just this as a swim nappy. This has no absorbency in it. It's just the cover. So you can use that as a swim nappy. And then you have different sizes. You can layer it up. So sometimes I would put this one at the front. For little boys, they do their wees at the front and layer that up, and that would be perfect. But when he was younger, I might have only just needed one, or during the day I might just do one, and then like for nap time or sleep time I would put the booster in as well. So it was really handy to be able to have those options. That might particularly be helpful to you if you're looking at doing cloth nappies. That's it. That's all the baby products I won't be buying for baby number 2. I think there's probably more, but they're like the main ones that I want to share, and the more popular items that parents talk about. Again though, everyone is different, and I might have said something today that you love or you do have lots of things of, or you already bought. That's fine. If you love it, that is so great. And as usual, if there's something I forgot, something that you are not going to be buying for baby number 2 or baby number 3 or anything like that, put it in the comments below. I'd love to hear about it. Otherwise, I really hope you like this video. I hope it was particularly helpful for first-time mums who may feel overwhelmed going through the baby stores and seeing a million baby products out there. Just remember, you don't need everything, and you don't need to spend a ton of time researching. I know it feels like you do. If I could go back, I would tell myself, stop researching baby products, research postpartum and how to look after a baby, breastfeeding, you know, all that stuff. Spend your time doing that. Don't spend your time looking at the products. You don't even really need the products. So yeah, I hope this video was helpful to you. I hope you learned something. Make sure you give it a big thumbs up if you liked it, and make sure you follow my channel to see more videos like this one.